Hello, my name is Amy. I'm a volunteer with the Portland League of Women Voters. We're here today filming the video voters guide for the November 2016 general election. With me right now is Zach Hudson.
Hello.
He is a candidate for City Council in Troutdale. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about your background and what led you to run for this office.
Sure. Well, I am a teacher at Reynolds High School. Before that, I was a teacher at Mount Hood Community College, ITT Tech, and Gresham High School, Corbett High School. And so I've been in the area a long time. My family's actually lived in Portland now, in Troutdale now for 7 years. And I've been serving on city committees and doing other volunteer work here for about 6 years. I serve on the Budget Committee and the Citizens Advisory Committee. I now chair that committee, and I've also been really active with the Troutdale Summerfest over the past few years. So I've been entertainment chair, parade chair. 1 year I kind of ran the operation, and so that's been some of my community involvement here.
Great, thank you. So we do want to spend some time today talking about the growing homeless population.
Mm-hmm.
And what ideas do you have to deal with this situation?
Well, I think it's important to realize that this is a bigger problem than just for Troutdale. This issue affects everybody, and our cities are so interdependent. It's not something that one city can tackle by itself. I see this as an issue for Multnomah County and for Metro and other large organizations that can take this global look. People who are affected by homelessness don't necessarily stay in one city, and so we need outreach and we need programs that can affect a wide range of the populace. It's important that whatever approach is taken, that it's not punitive and it's not trying to criminalize homelessness. That not only is inhumane, but it's been found not to work very effectively. I think a great model that the county or Metro or a larger organization might use is, for instance, what Salt Lake City has been doing with their Housing First initiative. The idea being that it's really hard to try to find employment, to seek addiction or mental health counseling, to get education or vocational skills if you're not housed in a stable environment. And so their approach was, we're going to solve housing first, we're going to take the next step after that. And that's shown wonderful results. So I'd love to see something emulating that possibly. As far as Troutdale's role in this is to help and cooperate where we can, to make sure that mental health services, housing, law enforcement, non-governmental organizations are coordinating with each other somehow. Troutdale's police force is actually part of Multnomah County's sheriff anyway, so there's nothing that we could specifically do with our police force that wouldn't be done on a larger scale anyway. But we'd certainly love to be part of a solution.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. So on a broader scale, what do you see are some of the needs and goals of the city of Troutdale?
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I'd really like to focus on is to bring our budget back into check. I've been on the Budget Committee for 6 years. For all of those 6 years, the committee has voted to use some of the general fund to supplement our budget for the year. So our general fund has been going down bit by bit by bit. There was 1 year that we didn't actually need to do that, even though we did vote to approve it, and then the numbers worked out well, so we didn't actually end up spending reserves that year. But we've gone from about $4 million to about $2 million in our general fund since the big recession. And we're reaching the point that we ought not spend those down anymore. We need that $2 million to keep the city working. I would like to see us next year, this coming April, approve a budget that spends no extra funds from the general fund, and then to start building up our savings, essentially. We don't know when the next recession is going to hit, but we know it will sometime. There's no way to avoid that. I think a great goal for the Budget Committee would be, say, putting $2 million more in the general fund, bringing us back up to $4 million over the next 10 years. If we do that at $200,000 a year, we can, I think, give ourselves a good buffer when something else crashes and we need to absorb that shock. Mm-hmm. Another really important thing that we need to be looking at is the urban renewal area. The city has signed an agreement with Eastman's Development, and the potential there is huge for the city. It could be a really wonderful thing. Certainly every city councilor wants the urban renewal area developed in one way or another. It's going to be the job of the city council now to make sure that we work with East Winds well to develop that and not put the Troutdale taxpayer at risk. For instance, we have some, we've made an agreement that we're going to build a road through the Columbia Outlet Mall. We don't have a price tag on that yet. I would like to see some more details, and I would like to work very closely with East Winds to make sure that Troutdale doesn't take on debt that we then can't actually repay despite the tax increment funding. We don't have a timeline for the development, so we don't know when the tax increment funding is going to kick in. I think we do need some close scrutiny of this to make sure that everything stays on track.
Thank you. So we have just a little bit of time left.
Certainly.
I do want to talk a little bit about how you see Troutdale's relationship with its surrounding jurisdictions, in particular with issues like transportation and social services. Mm-hmm.
Well, Troutdale participates with many different organizations. Some of the city council's members act as liaisons to certain organizations like Metro and others. Also, we invite people to come to city council all the time, and Metro has done so, as well as numerous other organizations, to just keep those connections going. So I think we have a good connection, and I'd like to see those strong connections continue.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. Again, this is the video voters guide for the general election, November 2016. Last day to register to vote is October 18th. For the election on November 8th. Thank you.